Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, we've got our first sighting of inventory discounts for the brand new Tesla Model Y. I believe this is a good setup for what's to come with more inventory discounts as we get to the end of the second month of the quarter. And on top of that, as we get to the last month of the quarter, which will give you the time frames for all of that. So we're going to get into that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, as I like to call it. And if you want to send me a question, you can ask it at my Patreon group down below in the description. And today's live stream is partnered with Aura, where you can protect your online data and much more, but more on that later. So shout out to Oren from our Discord, our super secret Discord, where we talk about deals down below in the description. Demo discounts have just hit the brand new Tesla Model Y. This is the biggest discount we've seen so far, even though it is $540 off. Here's the screenshot as it was captured. And this one is in an interesting different part of the Tesla app where you look at inventory instead of like the Tesla website, because you can see it's black background, everything. Model Y long range all-wheel drive demo vehicle in Tucson, Arizona. You can see the zip code right here if you want to search and find one yourself. It's unfortunately gone. It seems like someone had already scooped it up immediately. I mean, $540 discount is, it's not a ton, but it still is something. So if you're buying anyways, it might be worth it. The vehicle did have 1,282 miles, so a little bit on the higher side, but still respectable. I would say like if this had like a 1-to-1 type of discount, like $1,282 off for 1,282 miles, I think this would be a buy for me. But only having a $540 discount, I think I'd probably pass on this one unless it was in like a situation where I was going to be buying anyways. I was heading to the Tesla delivery center and they're like, hey, we've got one that we can give you a little bit of a discount, then why don't you take it? And it's got 1,282 miles on it. And most likely what happened here is this was probably an inventory vehicle or a demo status vehicle, or it definitely is a demo status vehicle, but it most likely will be it was a test drive vehicle. And so that's the thing, like there's going to be a lot of these different various opportunities coming into the pipeline soon as we get to, and my prediction is as we get to the end of May and definitely by the end of the quarter, we will see more discounted Tesla Model Ys and everything. And so usually they pop up like the second week of May or the second week of the month every single month. So I would imagine if you're looking for the hunt, you can definitely go take a look at it. This one, you could find these on the Tesla inventory page, and we're starting to see more and more vehicles, inventory vehicles, including launch series Tesla Model Ys that are getting posted to Tesla's website. And so if you're looking to lock this down, whether it's 0% on the Model 3 or 1.99% on the Model Y, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code just like the one down below in the description so you can get 3 months of full self-driving added to your Tesla vehicle. So let us know, what do you think of this deal at $540 off? Shout out to Oren for posting it in our super secret Discord down below in the description if you want to check it out as well. And you can really see that this is just the beginning. My prediction for sure, we are going to see more of this. On top of other Tesla news, we saw a behind the scenes look, at least like Laura Trump, I guess, went with Fox to go to the Tesla factory and saw it firsthand of these vehicles being driven off of the factory lot with no one in them. Really crazy to see more of that. And here's a concept of a Cyber Model S. Very interesting to see as well, because maybe the Model S is the next vehicle that's supposed to be coming out for the Tesla lineup. That's going to be a refresh. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who knows? Let me know what you think. If you're planning on financing your Tesla, then there's one thing you need to do before you even apply: protect your credit. Seriously, because here's the wildest part. Bank of America just had a data breach recently, and they didn't even tell customers for a month. That means your social, your phone number, and your email could have already been out there and you'd have no clue. Most companies wait on average of 277 days to report a breach. That's 9 months where your identity is exposed and you're the last to know. That's why I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura constantly scans the dark web and lets me know if anything tied to me shows up, my social, bank info, or any of my personal information. And that's not just for breaches. There's so many different tools I use with Aura. Want to reduce those pesky spam calls? Aura's got it. Want to remove your data like your addresses, phone numbers from those sketchy broker sites? Aura has that too. They will also include $5 million in identity theft insurance, and everything's packed into one clean app. You can try it free for 14 days at aura.com/DennisCW. I'll put that in the description as well. Don't wait until someone else tells you your data is at risk. That's like turning on Sentry mode after your car got keyed. Protect your credit before you apply. I'm doing it and you should too. Thanks for that, everyone. Blueberry, thanks for coming in. Money Jam, great to see you. Sleepy, thanks for coming in. Kells, Mr. G, U-Haul, New York's Finest, great to see you as well. Haven't seen you in a bit. Thank you all for dropping by. We released a new episode last week on our podcast with Chip, and we've got another one coming out this week as well. So if you want to check it out on the live stream chat right there, you can take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, welcome. We've got our first inventory discount for a Tesla Model Y at $540. Let us know, would you buy something like this? Let's see. How long do you think 0% will last? Sleepy, I think it's going to last all the way until the end of this quarter on the Model 3. Kells, need these Cybertruck discounts to hit, preferably 0.99 interest rate, a price adjustment, and federal tax credit will do the trick for me. Kells, yeah, I'm definitely watching the same thing as well. And here's what I'm looking at, Kells, and so we can look at it together. Basically, what we're seeing right now is we're seeing some 2024 still in their inventory. They need to figure out and clear out these first, and they might have to go even lower than the $8,000 off. I imagine I could see them throwing on free supercharging from all of it. And then the biggest thing with this is they still have Foundation Series Cybertrucks just sitting in inventory as well. And so they're in a little bit of a, I mean, I guess it's called a catch-22 because they've got both of these Cybertrucks selling side by side with one is, way more price, like $10,000 more, $20,000 more versus the other one. But what I'm looking to see is 2024s, they have to get rid of those because they don't necessarily qualify for the 7,500. 2025s, they do, but then they can't discount those until the 2024s are gone. And then now like the 2024s are aging even more. And so it's really tough. If I was trying to strategize with Cybertrucks, it's like the only thing that's going to get them gone is more discounts or lease loopholes or whichever it may be. Tesla needs to do more. The parking lot is almost full. Mr. G, which parking lot are you talking about? I want to see all these different Model Ys that are out there. May the 4th be with you. Thank you. Why last year or today's refresh? It's today's refresh. We've got a confirmed $540 discount. Self-park mode on factory line. U-Haul. Yeah, it seems like it goes out of the factory, goes to the transportation lines and parks itself, which is really cool. Alvin, do you think Model Y is suffering from demand issues? Wasn't sure if I believed it at first, but it looks like more and more like it. I don't know if it's a demand thing. I think people want the Tesla Model Y. It's can they purchase the Model Y without going into, a huge amount of debt or losing too much money on their older vehicle. And also it's a weird time with the economy, tariffs, and all these different things. But certainly that could be what's happening here. And the only way to sell vehicles, especially in these type of electric vehicles, Tesla vehicles, is lower the price. And the question is, how low can they go with the new Tesla Model Y? In this next topic, used Tesla prices are falling at a rate of 6 times more than the all other vehicles overall market. Value Analyst posted this. I thought this was pretty interesting. Used Tesla fell at 6 times over the overall market, and Tesla's decline is accelerating. Specifically, Tesla resale values have dropped 7.3% compared to a 1.1% decline for the overall market. Cybertruck values have halved in 1 year. Yesterday, we found that $66,000 Foundation Series Cybertruck, crazy to see. And so this really begs the question, is it better to buy a new Tesla at 1.99% with full warranty, newest technology, and all these different things? Or is it better to get like a half price Tesla, a Tesla that is, $30,000 or $35,000 or even $25,000? Yaman loves posting these different Tesla Model Ys that are 2023, 2024. Look, $24,000 for a 2023, 29,000 for a 2024. So not even a year to 2 years old and already a fantastic price. But the flip side, you have to kind of look at the opportunity cost between the two of them. So I'll give you a quick rundown, especially if you're looking at used at, let's just call it $25,000 to $30,000, or new at what, $43,000, $44,000. It sounds like you're spending way less money, but if you're going to be financing on both sides, you should look at how much you're going to be paying in total. So here's the first example when we're talking with a used Tesla vehicle. If you have to finance the full 30%, not putting like half down or anything like, because we know used interest rates on a used Tesla or any used vehicle are going to be way higher. I mean, definitely you're not going to be able to get 0, 1.99 or even close to 5% on a used vehicle unless you use a credit union down below in our description at our Patreon group. But here is the quick math. So if you were to do this, just I kept it with California sales tax and everything, the monthly payment on a 60-month term is $615. Total interest with everything, $6,000, $7,000, with total price after everything around $42,000. Of course, you can take this quick math yourself, put it in and plug it into your own auto loan calculator, whichever it may be, because everybody's situation is different. And depending on how much you're putting down, what type of financing you can get will also change as well. But if you take a look at this, we put the same similar numbers on a brand new Tesla. Of course, the new Tesla is going to be $50,000, but there is also a $7,500 federal tax credit, which will bring it down to $42,000. Of course, to get this 1.99 fantastic financing, you do have to put $10,000 down. And then let's also keep it at the same 60-month term just to see what it looks like. Sales tax and registration fees will keep it all the same here. And you can see the biggest thing is that your interest is way less in the type of money, but you still are spending a lot more, $50,500 over $42,000. So about an $8,000 difference between a used vehicle, which is the older legacy, we used to call it the old and busted, versus the brand new Tesla Model Y, which is going to have 4 years of warranty, 50,000 miles and everything. So there is a little bit of a difference that you have to figure out between the two. And really every situation is going to be different between used, new, and whichever that may be. So certainly maybe take some of these numbers, do your own math to figure out which one is the best deal for you in terms of your buying history, your comfortability, and all these other different things with it. But if you're going to be buying one of these cheaper, low cost, high mileage Tesla vehicles like this 2020 Tesla Model 3 for $10,000 or this Model S for also $10,000, I strongly recommend some sort of warranty. And that's where our channel partner Amber comes into play. Amber is a month-to-month warranty for your Tesla. And unlike those other companies that will charge you $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 up front, Amber is month-to-month. Think of Amber like AppleCare, but instead of for your iPhone, it's for your Tesla vehicle. They've got 3 different types of packages right now: Basics, Essentials, and Premium. Basic starts at $65 a month. So definitely check out Amber down below in the description. Use our link to get a no obligation quote for month-to-month coverage on your Tesla. You can see that Amber does have some benefits over the Tesla service warranty as well. So definitely thank you to Amber for partnering with us, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks to that, everyone. RC, and the discounts keep on coming. Yes, certainly. This is just the beginning, especially if you're looking at Model Y discount. Paul, thanks for coming in. New York's, will there be a refresh on the Model 3? If it has the front camera, will they upgrade our 2025 for free? I think there will be a refresh on the Model 3 maybe later this year or next year, but it's going to be like a very, very small refresh. Will they make the front camera retrofittable? I imagine we could see that. Question, when will Grok come to the 2025 Model 3, and will there be a charge? Good question, actually, because we're already starting to hear some rumblings of Grok being potentially tested on the Tesla vehicles. Of course, that makes sense, as they said coming soon. And you know what? There's a lot of different June things that are happening with like robotaxi and everything with Tesla. Why not just throw in Grok coming in June as well? That'd be a crazy one to see, because I don't know about you all, but AI is certainly starting to engulf our life. Well, maybe not on the Apple device, but everywhere else. But certainly, it would be interesting to see it inside the Tesla vehicle as well. My used long range Model 3 was bought warranty. Yes, of course. Yeah. The certain Tesla vehicles have warranty already, whether it's the 4-year 50 or the 8-year battery. But certainly, if you want more protection, or if you're buying some of these, 1-year old, 2-year vehicles that have over 50,000 miles, that could be a different scenario. Yoshi, appreciate all the info. May I ask your experience on financing a new Model Y? My wife has 750 credit score and I don't, but will I be able to get the 1.98 with both of us on a lease? So leasing is different from financing. Leasing, I think the interest rate was like 10% when we look at it for the money factor. Definitely not worth it at all. In fact, if you take a look at our best deal spreadsheet where we're trying to track all the different deals out there, especially Model 3, because there still are inventory discounts. If you look at page 3, you can see what the interest rates on the lease are. And when we checked it about a month ago, it was 10% for a 2026 Model Y. And I think that has not changed because the payment hasn't changed, but I need to go ahead and check and refresh all of these. When we checked last time, the Model 3 long range lease rear wheel drive was the best at 3%. And that's how they're getting to that 349,299 type of payment. In terms of will you get the 1.99 on a finance with the 750 credit score for your wife? Depends. You need to make sure you got a good auto loan history as well. If you got that plus the 750 and also 15%, make sure you do the math, then yes, you could potentially get the right amount down with everything. We did a quick post earlier today on how you got to read the fine print with this 1.99% down. You need 15%, which in California, that's 7,500 plus putting down the 7,500 federal tax credit. If you don't, or if you're not able to, it's going to be 2.99% instead of 1.99, which still is pretty respectable, all things considered, compared to like a 5.5% interest rate. And so just take that for whichever it is. In this next topic, Tesla profits per vehicle, I guess from this graph, are down 20% per, or 20% year over year. Here is how that impact is, and potentially how this could affect more deals, more discounts coming soon. Our favorite analyst, Troy Tesla, posted this. Tesla often responds to slowing demand with price cuts and promotional offers. As a result, vehicle deliveries in 2024 declined by 1%, while automotive gross profit, excluding regulatory credits, dropped nearly 20%. I expect the same trend to continue this year, but with steeper declines in both deliveries and automotive profits. So you can see here, deliveries was, we could almost call this flat, but it's down 1% from 2023 to 2024. And the profit per vehicle, I'm assuming, or in the millions or whatever, where the automotive gross profit excluding regulatory credits was 14,240 in the millions, down 20% to 11,434. So the profit they're making per vehicle is already getting impacted, even though they're going lower and lower. And so it'd be very interesting to see how they're doing this year with all these different discounts, incentives, and everything. And I would imagine this is just the beginning of more discounts, more incentives as we get to the end of the year, because as you've known, if you've been watching this channel for a while, quarter 3 and especially quarter 4 are the best times to buy a Tesla vehicle for the whole year, because that's when all the different deals are there. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. Now that you've bought your Tesla, or you're about to buy your Tesla, did you know that it comes with 0 accessories? Seriously, not even a phone mount. But don't worry, we've got you covered. In my opinion, there's a few must-haves that every Tesla owner should get, like a phone mount so your phone doesn't fly off during acceleration, a center console organizer because without it, you're going to lose a bunch of stuff, and my newest favorite, an invisible underscreen station mount from Jowa, a great place to store sunglasses. And all of these accessories plus more you can get from our partner Jowa. And these accessories are good because I actually use all of their stuff. And if you use our promo code down below in the description, you can save some money and support the channel as well. But Jowa doesn't stop at just the basics. They've got a wireless game controller that fits perfectly in the glove box, a portable air compressor for peace of mind on those long road trips, and even an electric scooter, because why walk from the superchargers or level 2 chargers? So not only will you save some money by using our promo code down below in the description, you can also get free shipping on orders over $120. So definitely check it out, link down below in the description. Thank you to Jowa for partnering with us on this channel, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks for that, everyone. Any chance the lease interest rate comes down? How long do you think 1.9 lasts? Good question, actually, because the lowest we've ever seen an interest rate, like historically, I want to say is in like the 1.9 range. So I guess there is some room for this one to go lower. That was on the older Model Y, and also at one point, no, it was actually on the current Model 3, but it was in December. So yes, there is room for a lot of these different interest rates, pricings, and everything to come lower. And so, yeah, we could see that. Harvey, thanks for coming in. Sleepy, lease includes interest rate. Can you explain more? Yes. So when you are leasing a vehicle, there is an interest rate as well. It's called a money factor, or it's, if you calculate it, it's into a lease interest rate as well, or lease. It's an interest rate on a lease, because leasing is just another way of financing. Instead of financing the whole vehicle price, you're just financing what you use in that 2 to 3 year term. And so the banks still want their profit on that, and or the subsidized profit, or whatever it may be. And so that's kind of how it works. Joshua, I don't qualify for the 7.5 tax credit, so I feel like I'm better off just buying used. I did see a loophole buyout is a loophole, but I wasn't sure the math on it. Great question, Joshua. And actually, we'll talk about that in our next topic right after this. In this next topic, here's the cheapest way to buy a Tesla vehicle, from incentives to inventory to whichever. If you're just looking to get into a vehicle at the lowest cost out of pocket, here's how you can actually do it. So shout out to Christopher Dungeon for talking about the Model 3 lease, because if you lease a Model 3 right now, you can do zero out of pocket and just pay $349 a month. It's a zero down 24-month lease at 10,000 miles. If you add up all the different payments, the down payment, and also the order fee, you can see it's $8,626 in 2 years, which is pretty fantastic if you were to think about that. And in California, I just helped a friend get this as well, and their payment was $265 a month. And so, very interesting to see. Like, if you just want a vehicle, you kind of just want to get the test the waters a little bit and just get your feet wet with buying a Tesla vehicle, and not necessarily seeing, what's it actually about, and seeing it just for a short term, it is definitely worth it. And on top of that, if you're someone that doesn't qualify for the 7,500 federal tax credit, if you make too much money over the income limits, 150 to 300K, then this is a great loophole, because all Tesla leases on the Model 3 and the Model Y, if you don't qualify with financing or paying cash, you can get the 7,500 federal tax credit as itemized on a lease. When you get into the back end, it actually shows you that the 7,500 lease credit is actually applied. So there is a way to actually lease the vehicle and buy it out if you want to, but of course there's extra fees on that, like the acquisition fees and everything. So you get like $6,000 out of the 7,500, but that is a big loophole, and that's why a lot of people do it. But still, very big to see. Like, if you just want the lowest monthly payment on a Tesla vehicle, a Model 3 long range rear wheel drive is going to definitely get you there at a low payment. It was like $1,000 down at $299 a month. Now it's zero down at $349 a month. So about the same at the end of the day. But the one thing is for sure, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, if you're looking to order a Model 3 or Model Y or any Tesla vehicle, so you can get 3 months of full self-driving added to your Tesla vehicle. But let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. The one thing is, it's very interesting, after helping a friend buy one of these pretty recently, when they ordered it, I thought they were going to take delivery like ASAP, because when we get on the stream in the channel, we see all these different inventory vehicles that are ready and available for sale, but they actually waited 2 weeks to pick up their Tesla Model 3. They were ready to go immediately as they placed their order. But what's happening here is that I guess a lot of people like this low lease payment, and they're willing to get into a long range rear wheel drive. And so I imagine from Tesla's viewpoint, they see this, that a lot of people gravitate to the cheaper build. And that's probably why they are looking to make a more affordable vehicle at the end of the day. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. Lease, yearly miles capped. Yes, 100%. Any lease is going to be like that, but you can buy out the lease at the end of it if you need more miles. Like the stream. No, thank you, Baked Beans. Tom, I'm considering first purchase. I'm interested in full self-driving. I'm thinking to get a used 2023 with hardware 4 and then getting a new car once hardware 5 comes out. What do you think? Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent plan. You might as well, if you're interested in do that, as long as you're paying cash for the used one. If you have to finance a used one, then it might not make sense with that. Lease won't work for me. I drive 30,000 miles a year. 25 cents is not worth the trouble. unless you're looking to lease it and then buy it out. Like if you're long term, then that might make sense, but at the same time, 0% will also make a lot of sense as well. New York, thank you for educating us on new Tesla owners. You're the man, the reason I decided to buy a Tesla. Thanks for all you do. No, thank you, New York's finest, and thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the like button, the comments, and everything. But thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.